In this video, I'll show you 7 easy techniques you can use to sound like Kurt Cobain and Nirvana right away. So if that sounds good to you, grab your guitar and let's go. Alright, so just a quick note before we begin on the equipment I'll be using today. I'm using my Fender Twin Reverb 65 reissue amp. And then for the bleach and Nevermind tones, I'm using this Rat distortion pedal. And then for the in utero distorted tones, I'm using this Behringer TM300 tube amp modeler pedal. And then the guitar I'm using today is a Fender Mustang copy that I've swapped out the pickup and put in a Seymour Duncan Super Distortion pickup, which is very similar to the one that Kurt Cobain used in the in utero days. And so Kurt Cobain used variations of power chords for his rhythm playing throughout much of Nirvana's music, and he liked to play them with his index finger on the root note and then his ring finger bridged 2 frets up across the rest of the notes. And a lot of times on the power chords he would play rooted on the low E string. That ring finger would not only bridge across the next 2 strings, the A and D strings, but it would also fret 2 frets up on the G string. And this resulted in a suspended 4th chord as opposed to a standard power chord, which gave it a little bit of a darker, weirder tone. And so a great example of this is Smells Like Teen Spirit. So we're gonna start out in standard tuning. And so on the surface, Smells Like Teen Spirit seems like a very simple chord progression, and for the most part it is. However, the way a lot of people get it wrong is they play standard 3-note power chords for this part. So if we play it the 3-note power chord version, it sounds like this. And it doesn't sound bad or too wrong, but if you listen closely, especially to the clean tone part in the beginning, you can hear that Kurt Cobain is playing that extra note on the G string when he plays the power chords rooted on the low E string, and you can hear that he's hitting that B string on the notes that he's playing rooted on the A string. So what this does is it gives us this kind of ominous heavy sound on the 1st and 3rd chord, and a major tone on the 2nd and 4th chords. Now the difference is very subtle, but it does make a difference in their overall sound and tone. And so the next technique that Kurt Cobain likes to use is a lead technique, and that's playing the main vocal melody of the song on his guitar as the solo. And so sticking with Smells Like Teen Spirit, this is probably the most famous example where he does this. And so very simply put, when it comes time to play the solo, Kurt Cobain doesn't come up with a different melody to play as the solo. He just copies the notes of the vocal pattern and plays it as the solo. And this is a technique that a lot of guitar players, especially songwriting guitar players, will use. And so if you have a very strong vocal melody like Smells Like Teen Spirit, it can really enhance the song by playing it as the solo. It can also be a great option if you're having trouble coming up with something different. And so sticking in standard tuning, we're gonna go to the next technique that Kurt Cobain really liked to use, and that's the use of atonal style leads. And a great example of that is the song School. And so I'm kind of ad-libbing this solo, and I believe Kurt Cobain probably did that in the studio, and when they played live, he definitely played it differently, but within the same structure every time they played it. And so what's interesting about this solo is that he's playing pretty much in a minor pentatonic style scale the entire time in the right key, but he adds these kind of bends and mispicked notes and random notes that kind of give it that atonal quality. So we start off with this big bend, and we're playing the 2nd fret of the G and B, and the 2nd fret of the G string is definitely in key, but the 2nd fret of the B string is out of key. So you get this kind of atonal quality right off the start, but it also kind of sounds in key to begin with. And then he just goes down through the minor pentatonic scale, lands on that open E, and then he moves up to the next position of the minor pentatonic. And then he moves back down to that 1st position and has this discordant style phrasing of that same minor pentatonic position. And so he's bending these 2nd fret notes a little bit out of key to give it that discordant feel. And then we move back up to that 2nd position at the 7th fret. then he moves into like a major scale pattern going down, which has kind of a nicer resolving feel. And then he ends with that atonal bend. And so a great way to incorporate this into your music is to play within a scale that's in the key of the song, and then throw in these kind of out-of-tune bends, maybe some mispicks, and a few well-placed out-of-tune notes here and there to give it that kind of discordant, uncomfortable feeling while also maintaining some form of melody. And so the next technique that Kurt Cobain does a lot and uses very effectively is the use of dynamics. And dynamics is just using relative loudness or quietness to emphasize certain parts of the song or create a big impact. And so we already covered one example where he uses dynamics, which is the beginning of Smells Like Teen Spirit, where he starts off with the clean tone and then hits the heavy tone when the rest of the band kicks in. And Drain You is another great example of this. So the purposes of this video, I'm going to stick in standard tuning, even though they tune down a full step on the record. So if you want to play along with the record, you can play the chords in the same positions I'm playing here, but you're going to have to tune a full step down. So you can see here, just like Smells Like Teen Spirit and Drain You, Kurt Cobain starts off with that clean tone, kind of introduces the vocal melody, and then right about the time he's finishing that vocal melody, he kicks in with the distortion, it gets louder, the full band kicks in. And so this creates a really big impact off the start of the song, which gets you interested in it. And in this example, the song remains somewhat loud through the rest of the song. But in examples like Smells Like Teen Spirit, in the verse it gets very quiet, and then the pre-chorus it kind of builds, and then when it hits the chorus really loud and hard. So again, this is a technique that Kurt Cobain used in a ton of their songs. It's a very effective technique to keep your songs from sounding boring, especially if they have very simple rhythmic patterns like Nirvana's music did. And there's a few different ways you can achieve this. One of the ones we already talked about is going from clean to distorted. Another is palm muting and then going to openness. And another way is even using single note riffs in place of chords, as they tend to sound smaller than power chords or full chords. So experiment in your playing and finding spots where you can use dynamics, playing a little bit quieter so that you can emphasize the loud parts and vice versa. The next technique that Kurt Cobain uses in a lot of songs are arpeggios or partial arpeggios. And so arpeggio is just playing the notes within a chord separately instead of playing them all at once. So a great example is Lithium. And this is another song that's tuned down a full step. So if you want to play along with the record, you can play the same positions I'm playing on the neck, but you need to tune your guitar down a full step. And so the main chord progression to the song goes. But during the verse, Kurt Cobain starts off with these partial arpeggios, and he's going to play some muted notes in there, but he's basically just playing the notes within those first three chords instead of playing the full chords. So we go from the E to the G sharp to the C sharp to the A. And then again, he uses dynamics when he wants to play the full chords and the chorus comes in. So the use of these partial arpeggios or even full arpeggios is a very nice complement to the dynamics. So you can kind of create that muted or softer tone in your quieter parts and add a little variation to the sound of the song, even though you're playing the same chords for the verse and the chorus. And so the next technique that Kurt Cobain uses is the use of drop D tuning. And so all drop D tuning is if you are in standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E, you're gonna take the low E string and tune it down to D. And a couple things this does for you is one, it makes the song sound darker, but also it gives you the ability to play power chords by just bridging your index finger across the bottom three strings. And so there's quite a few songs where Nirvana uses a variation of drop D tuning, but one of the best examples is Heart-Shaped Box. So So the tuning on this is drop D, but the entire guitar is already tuned down a half step, so it's actually drop D flat. So if you want to play along with the record, tune your guitar down a half step from standard tuning, and then tune your bottom string to D flat, which is basically a full step down from the E flat it would normally be. So this is a great example because it uses the arpeggios from the previous example. It also uses dynamics like we talked about before, and it allows Kurt Cobain to play 2 of the chords in the chord progression using just a bar finger. So we start off with the A-shaped chord, and then we go to the F-shaped chord. And normally we'd have to play the root on the 1st fret, but because we're in drop D, all we have to do is bridge our finger across the 3rd fret. And then we can play another similar bar chord shape, except we don't have to bar our finger, we're just playing all open. And then when we get to the chorus, it's similar chords. And again, because we're in drop D, we can play one of those chords by just barring our finger like we did in the beginning. And so a great way to incorporate this into your music, if you want a heavier, darker sound, is to tune your guitar down to drop D and then transfer your chord progression into the drop D format. Alright, so the last technique we're going to talk about today is the use of single note accents. And Kurt Cobain uses this technique in a lot of songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit, but we're going to stick with a great example in Heart Shaped Box. So if we go back to that chorus we were just playing, you can hear that in addition to the power chords, Kurt Cobain uses a single note accent to duplicate what he's singing in the vocal pattern. So both of those bends at the 4th fret of the G string are matching what Kurt Cobain's singing in the melody, and then those notes at the end are matching a similar pattern an octave below what he's singing. So again, and these single note accents are a really great way to have your guitar cut through and add a little interest instead of just playing chords underneath things. And these single sort of discordant notes played along with the vocal melody as well as the drop D tuning give this song a very kind of eerie feel. And so a way to incorporate this into your playing is to think about the notes you want to accent in maybe a melody like a chorus or a verse. And instead of just playing a rhythm chord underneath it, try playing a single note melody that kind of accents the vocal melody. And it doesn't even have to match the melody, it can just be something that complements the song. So that's it for this one. I hope this video helped you learn a little bit more about Kurt Cobain's guitar technique and gives you some tools to incorporate into your playing so that you have more options. And also remember to like and subscribe and check out my website, scottobrienguitar.com. I have tabs for a bunch of Nirvana songs there, plus my beginner punk guitar course, which is a series of punk guitar style techniques in a shorter video format, like 5 to 10 minutes. You can pretty much watch them in any order and skip any that you already know. And it really builds on a lot of the concepts I talked about in this video today. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.